Hello, and welcome back to the channel. As most of you know, I'm Topher, and for those of you who don't know and just randomly decided to click on the video, welcome to the channel. I'm Topher. Thank you for stopping by. So I've recorded this intro like 5 or 6 times at this point, and at this point, I'm just gonna stop thinking. I'm gonna stop thinking about it. And I'm just gonna talk because I kept debating: do I want to have a lengthy intro, or do I just want to have a lengthy Topher thought section? Do I even want a Topher thought section? It's not really a reaction. Blah blah blah. So I'm just gonna talk, and whatever happens, happens. But basically, we're not doing a reaction video. We're not reacting to music. We're not reacting to a series. We're not doing a ranking video like I've been doing recently. It's a completely different kind of content. And when I said in my channel update video for January 2023 that you'd be getting new content on the channel, I'm sure you did not expect to get language learning, and neither did I. This is something that I just kind of randomly, on a whim, just decided. For those of you who don't really care about my reasons behind this and you just want to see whatever linguistic train wreck is about to come out of my mouth as I attempt to learn to speak this language, future Topher will put a timestamp somewhere here and you can just jump to that. But for those of you who are wondering, hey, what are you doing this for? What's going on? Stick around. We're gonna go on we're gonna have a little story time. But basically, I was sitting in bed the other night and I was just having a conversation with myself. I was like, self, you say a lot of things to yourself, which I do because I'm great company. What can I say? But I was like, you say you say you want to do a lot of things, but you don't always have the time to, which is true. There are a lot of things in life I would love to do, but I don't necessarily have the time to dedicate wholeheartedly to all of those things because I've just got so many pots on the stove, so to speak. I've got so many different, my hand in so many different things right now. But one of those things is I've always said, no, I want to speak another language. I would love to learn another language. I would love to, even if I'm not fluent in it, just learn another language enough to be conversational. There's so many subscribers to this channel from so many different countries, and I've been exposed to so much amazing music, so many amazing series, and just so many amazing people from different places all over the world. And hey, I'm just a single English speaking boy. I'm just one single English speaking homosexual on this channel, just sitting here minding my own business. But still, all of these people from all these different countries have found a way to come to my channel, and with all the languages they speak, they also speak or understand English to a certain extent where they can understand what I'm saying. And it makes me feel like, well, hell, if all these people can be out here and being bilingual, trilingual, quadrilingual, all the various different shades of lingual. I'm looking at you, Yemi, and your 15 languages, Hell, I can learn another language. I can be at least semi sort of bilingual ish. So I sat there and I was like, you know what? You can do it, because you can sit here all you want and say, hey, I would love to learn a language, but I just don't have the time. But until you make the time, you're not going to do it. So I said, okay, fine, we'll do it. So I hopped on the Google machine and I Googled what are the easiest languages for native English speakers to learn. And I came across this website where FSI, which I think is Foreign Studies Institute, had a 5-level ranking for how easy or hard it is for certain languages to be learned by native English speakers. And of course, all the languages that were on my to-do list, because I knew going into it, I was like, okay, I would like to learn something that I've featured on this channel. I've been in Asia a lot. There's been a lot of Filipino content over the years. There's been a lot of Thai content, a lot of Korean content, some Taiwanese content, and so on and so forth. I'm like, I would like it to be one of those languages. I mean, there are a lot of languages I would like to speak, but right now I would like to look at one of those because I would like to, long-term goals, I would love to be able to react to a series or a song or something in one of those languages and not have to rely on the captions. I would love to just like be able to be fully immersed in the visual and the audio and just like take that all in instead of having to worry about reading and also taking all that stuff in. So naturally, when I looked at the ranking that they had, all of my languages that I was interested in are on the harder end of the spectrum for me. I think all but one of them was a level 5. Not saying that it's impossible to learn, but it's hard. It's usually the hardest for English speakers to learn for various levels of reasons, and would require the most time. But one of the languages that I had on my list was a level 4. I was like, okay, that one. And it just makes sense. And if you're watching this video, you already know what language that is. I'm not going to try and build up some suspense. Y'all already know what I'm talking about. But the Filipino language was ranked amongst the level 4 languages. And basically, according to this ranking in this list, they said it would take about 44 weeks or 1,100 hours of instruction to become, I don't necessarily think they said fluent, but familiar to a good degree, I would say. I was like, okay, there's 52 weeks in a year, so, and it's the beginning of the new year, so if I were to start this now, then by the time the year ended, I may not be fluent. I doubt that I'll be fluent, but I'll have a much better understanding, and hopefully I'll be able to at least have some basic level of conversation with some of my Filipino followers in their native tongue. And yeah, so it's like, okay, fine, let's do this. And then I went on Google again. I was like, show me things. Learn to speak Tagalog. Originally, I was looking at Tagalog as a language because I've reacted to, like I mentioned, a number of series. Hello Stranger, Game Boys, Guys on Pelicula, Why Love Why, and countless others Filipino series. And in the comment section, a lot of you guys have mentioned Tagalog specifically as the language they were speaking. So in my head, I was like, okay, Tagalog is just the language that they speak in the Philippines. So originally I was, let's learn Tagalog. But then when I was researching, I saw that Tagalog and Filipino are actually distinct languages. Very similar. They have their similarities, but they're almost like dialects of the same language-ish in a sense. And my native Filipino, words, I can't even speak English. Good luck with the rest of this other languages, Jesus. But that Tagalog was, I think, the primary language of the country for a while, and then it eventually was transitioned over to Filipino. Filipino is just kind of like an evolution of Tagalog, so it has Tagalog at its roots, but I think it has Filipino has more letters in its alphabet and pulls on inspiration from a couple other languages or something like that. I was reading. So I was like, okay, let me look at Filipino then. And I figured either one I looked at, if I learned that language and someone else was speaking the other language, I would still be familiar enough to be, it may not be a direct translation, but I'd be familiar enough to kind of understand the general gist of what they were saying. So I was like, okay, fine, we'll look at Filipino then. But also, those aren't the only two languages. There's lots of languages, lots of different shades of Filipino languages that y'all speak over there. So y'all are very intimidating. I don't know how y'all do it. And then y'all speak English at the same time. I don't get it. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are amazing. But yeah, so I hopped on. I was like, let me speak Philippines, or show me Filipino things. That's a different Google search. But I came across this audiobook on Audible, Learn to Speak Filipino in Your Sleep, and I was like, okay, fine, let's do that. So I bought that, and I've been playing that while I slept the last couple nights, and I've been playing the first chapter over and over when I've been at work the last couple of days, and my coworkers look at me like I'm crazy, because sometimes I'll just be sitting there, typing blah blah blah, and randomly just say something, repeating whatever they said, and my coworkers are like, what? And I'm like, don't worry about it. I'm in my own world right now, don't worry about it. And I'm like, Topher, you okay? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, so I figured that I would make this video, or these videos, I should say, because it is going to be like a little series. Mainly because I know myself, and not saying that I'm going to just all of a sudden drop this task that I am taking up right now, but I know that if I didn't put it out on like some sort of public forum saying, hey, I'm going to do this, then I have absolutely zero accountability. So if for whatever reason in like 6 or 7 weeks I have a really hard long week at work and I get home and I'm like, you know what, I don't feel like reviewing my vocabulary words today. I don't feel like doing my homework today. I just want to sleep. I just want to eat. I just want to watch TV and not think, blah 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 blah. And then I won't. And then I can, once that first instance happens where I'm like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it the next day. And the next day comes and then I don't do it. I'm okay, I'll do it the next day. Once that trend starts happening, I know that there's a high likelihood that I probably just won't dive back into it again. It's happened with various other tasks and projects. I know myself. So I figure if I make these videos, it is a form of accountability, because I'm telling the world right now that I'm going to learn this language, and I know that there are going to be a lot of you guys who are going to be like, hey, how's that language learning going? So yeah, I'm hoping that you guys are going to hold me accountable. Yeah, so I'm making this first video and putting it on this channel specifically because I want it is kind of semi sort of quasi like a reaction. I'm looking at some stuff on YouTube and using that as kind of like my guide for right now. But then I'm going to post the rest of these kind of videos because, again, it's going to be a journey. And I feel like this particular journey I'm going to go on, this doesn't necessarily go hand in hand with my Topher Reacts stuff that I have right now. So I'm going to finally make use of my other channel that I've had sitting there for God knows how long that I just haven't done anything with. Everything Topher. If you haven't followed it, links are down in the description. But I'll be posting a weekly entry, basically, over on that channel, just doing different things, whether it's me looking at vocabulary words or looking at videos on YouTube, or various exercises, or maybe you guys put down in the comment section like, hey, here's a tip, or hey, you were doing really good on this, but your pronunciation is a little wonky here, or maybe you stressed a consonant here where the focus should have been here, like, or hey, I saw this and I thought you might like this, or this might help you on your journey or whatnot. Like, it's gonna be a journey, y'all. So I'm gonna be posting my little update videos on the journey over on my other channel. So if you would like to keep up with that journey, then make sure you're subscribed over there, and we can have all kinds of fun flailing through this language. Yeah, I think that's the majority of the things. I have a jar. Not that that's terribly important to you guys right now, but I have a jar that used to host chia seeds, but now it no longer does, because basically my friend sent me this really, really awesome video idea last week, where basically every week you take a piece of paper and you write something great that happened to you that week, and you put it in a jar, and at the end of the year you have an entire year's worth of memories that you can look back on and be like, oh. So I figured I would do something like that for the channel. So every week I'm going to make an entry into, maybe not this jar, this is just the only jar I had on hand right now that was empty, but I might get a prettier jar. I might make that prettier at some point. But I figured I would do that for YouTube. So my very first entry into my jar is today. Well, technically 2 days ago, but it's when it first happened. So January 6th. You gonna focus? No? Is it too bright? Okay. Well, it says January 6th. I bought Learn Filipino while sleeping on Audible. Let's do this! So that is going to be my first entry into my jar of memories for my YouTube channel in 2023. And at the end of the year, we're going to see what progress we made with that. So I have babbled on long enough. We are going to dive into this video, Learn Filipino in 3 minutes. So at the end of 3 minutes, I am going to be an expert. I'm going to be super fluent. No. So we're learning Filipino greetings in 3 minutes over on the channel Learn Filipino with FilipinoPod101.com. So for this video and probably the other videos that I'm doing on the other channel, I don't want to take like paid content and put it out there for free. So like my Audible book and any other tools that I might have to purchase on my own free time, I'll do my own homework with that stuff off camera and whatnot, because obviously I'm gonna dedicate more than one day a week to this. But the stuff that I'm gonna be doing for YouTube's sake, it's gonna be free content that we can find anywhere. So I'm not, depriving anyone. But the link to the original video will be down in the description, and we're just gonna see where this goes.
Kamusta kayo? Ako si Erica. Hi everybody, I'm
Hi.
Erica. Welcome to FilipinoPod101.com's Filipino sa 3 minutos.
She's so pretty.
The fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Filipino. In the last lesson, we learned how to be grateful to people
Oh,
by
last
saying
lesson. Oh
salamat.
no, I missed one. Salamat. I know that one.
We'll learn some of the
SB19.
most common greetings used in the Philippines. Handa na ba kayo? Are you ready? Then let's start.
Okay.
First, we'll learn the greetings we use when meeting people. Kamusta? Kamusta. Do you remember this from the first lesson?
No, but I do remember it from my Audible
Kamusta
book.
means how are you? But it is used as hi or hello.
Yes, I remember. Well, obviously, because it's only been 2 days. But I remember that from the Audible book, because I remember the first time I heard it, I played it while I was going to bed, and I wasn't looking at the Audible book came with a PDF that accompanies it that has kind of like a printout of everything, all the phrases and all the words we say and whatnot, but I didn't look at that because I was going to bed. So I was just listening to it, and I heard "Como está?" and I was like, oh, okay, this reminds me of Spanish. Okay, "Como está?" Let's go. And in my head, I was sitting here, just "Como está?" I'm like, oh, this is easy. Taking me back to my high school Spanish class. This is going to be a breeze for me. But then when I was at work the next day, I looked at the book and I was like, oh, it is not "Como está?" It is "Como está?" I'm like, okay, it sounds very similar, but it is spelled differently. And seeing it written out helps me a lot, because that's one thing I will say about reacting to a lot of Filipino content on this channel, is having been so immersed in that content, a lot of the phonetic structure I'm accustomed to. So seeing the words, it's easier for me to pronounce it and keep that pronunciation locked into my brain than it is for me to just listen to it. And another thing about that is, what was the word? Paalam. I've heard that repeated over and over and over. I'm like, okay, paalam, paalam. Okay, yeah, cool. But I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, Paalam. I'm like, boom, that's how you spell it. And that's just, again, coming from being so immersed in the Filipino content that I've been immersed in thus far, that I'm like, okay, I know what these vowel structures, we didn't just say palam or anything like that, we said pa'alam. So we had that break there, so that's a double A, I know that much. And it's fun. It's fun for me to see how much familiarity I already have. So I feel like I have a little bit of a head start, but there's still so much left for me to learn, so I'm excited. Sorry, little detour on our journey. Lord, this is gonna be a long journey. I'm sorry, y'all.
Kamusta is a shortened version of kamusta,
Stop.
which you can use when greeting friends.
Stop.
Kamusta? For formal situations, we use kamusta po.
Kamusta po?
Kamusta po.
Kamusta po?
Now, here are sometimes specific greetings used when meeting people. Magandang araw.
Magandang
Magandang
araw.
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 Literally,
Magandang
araw means
araw.
good day. To be more
Magandang
specific
araw.
about which time in the day we greet someone, we use magandang umaga,
Umaga. I remember that
magandang
one.
tanghali,
Nope, we didn't say
and
that one.
magandang hapon.
Yes.
Meaning, good morning,
Good
good
afternoon.
noon,
Good noon and good Good evening. All right, yes. So in the audiobook, we did have magandang umaga and magandang hapon. We did not have tanghali. So these are new.
And good afternoon.
I can take this back.
Meaning, magandang tanghali.
Tanghali.
And magandang hapon. Meaning.
So magandang umaga, magandang tanghali, and magandang hapon. So magandang umaga, good morning. Magandang tanghali, good afternoon. Magandang hapon, good evening. And then we had magandang araw. No, that doesn't feel right. Araw.
Literally, magandang araw means...
Oh yeah, araw. Okay.
To be more specific about which time in the day we greet someone, we use magandang umaga, magandang tanghali, and magandang hapon. Meaning
umaga,
good morning,
tanghali,
good noon, and good afternoon respectively. Magandang
umaga.
Magandang tanghali.
Tanghali.
Hapon. During the evening, there is only one greeting, and that is magandang gabi.
Magandang gabi. Okay. Hold on. So I misspoke before. So we have umaga for morning, tanghali for noon specifically, hapon for afternoon, and gabi for evening. So morning between 5 and 11. Between 11 and 1 is noon. 12 and... Okay. Gotcha.
Gabi. Maganda means beautiful or good. The connector NG is added to connect maganda and gabi. In formal situations, you just need to add po to the Filipino greetings I've already mentioned. Magandang araw po, magandang umaga po, magandang tanghali po, magandang hapon po, magandang gabi po.
What about native Filipino people? God, English. Does po have a specific translation? Like, I understand that we're adding it on when we're in formal situations, so it's a way of making our statement formal, but does it have an actual... Does it mean an actual word? Like, does it translate to Mr. or Mrs., or is it just a signifier that, okay, I'm giving you some level of respect, this is a formal situation? Let me know.
Are you ready for more?
Yes.
Next are some greetings we use when leaving. To say goodbye in Filipino, we say paalam.
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 See? My double A. That's it. Paalam.
Sige, mauna na ako.
Oh, hold on. You going too fast. You can't just start off with single word paalam. Like, okay, that's easy. And then just like, but that's one thing about my Filipino people. Y'all speak so damn fast. And it is remarkable to me because sometimes I listen to y'all and it's just like 100 words a minute. Y'all just... I'm like, whoa. My brain does not process words that fast. So, sige, muana na ako.
Alright, I'll go ahead. And it's a more casual way of saying goodbye. Sige. Mauna
na ako. Sige, mauna na ako. Sige, mauna na ako. Sige, mauna na mako. Sige, mauna na mako. So, paalam, goodbye, casually. All right, I'll go ahead. Sige, mauna na ako. Okay.
Finally, we have hanggang sa muli. Meaning,
that I like that one. Hanggang sa muli. Okay, I will remember that one because if you've been with the channel long enough, I'm sorry to keep pausing, but this is my lesson. I'll do whatever the hell I want. But if you've been with the channel long enough, y'all know I love me SV19, the boys of SV19, my babies. And hanggang sa muli is very close to the title of my favorite SB19 song, Hanggang sa Huli. So that being so close, I will very much remember that one. That one will probably be the easiest one for me to remember. So see you again. Hanggang sa muli.
Again, to make these formal, we just need to add
Po.
paalam po.
Sige,
Sige, mauna na po ako.
Hold on. See, that's what I'm saying. She just like blew through that. I'm sitting here trying to sound it out. So. Sige mauna na. Wait, we added the po to a different place. Hold on. Why?
Hanggang sa muli po.
Go back.
Sige, mauna na po ako.
Okay. So, why did we add the po before the ako? Oh, I got so many questions, y'all. Oh. It's my first lesson. It's okay. I'm not gonna stress too much, but she threw a curveball at me.
Hanggang sa muli po. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Filipino. Let's review them all again. Here are the greetings we use when meeting people. Kamusta? Magandang araw. Magandang umaga. Magandang tanghali.
Magandang hapon. Magandang gabi.
When leaving, we have paalam. Sige, mauna na ako.
That one.
Hanggang sa muli.
And hanggang sa muli.
For greeting people who are older than you, just add po.
At the end for all of them
Easy,
except
isn't it?
for sige mauna.
Now it's time for Erica's tips. Another famous greeting you might hear in the Philippines is mabuhay.
Mabuhay,
This
yes.
literally means live, but it's used to mean welcome. It is used in formal situations like when welcoming an audience during events or when welcoming people into the country, but not necessarily when welcoming guests to your home.
Okay.
During the next lesson, we'll learn the meaning of the phrase, nagsasalita ka ba ng Ingles? Do you already know it?
No!
I'll be waiting to talk about it with you in our next Filipino sa 3 minuto lang.
Thank you, Erica. Okay, so just again to review the things that we talked about. So we had Kumusta, we had Magandang Araw, we had Magandang Gabi, Magandang Umaga, Magandang Tanghali, Magandang Hapon, Paalam, Sige mauna na ako, and Hanggang sa muli. And if we wanted to make it formal, we just add po to the end, except for sige mauna na ako for some reason. For some reason, we add that po before the ako. Actually, hold on. What does ako mean? Why are we adding it there? It's gonna bug me. It's not gonna bug me because I'm sure my questions will be answered at some point. Okay, so ako apparently is a translation for pronoun I or me. So, sige mauna na ako, that was, alright, I'll go first or I'll leave. So the ako is the I. So why did we have, maybe, I don't know. But, by the end of the year, hopefully I'll have an answer. So, in 52 weeks, say, hey Topher, remember that question you had in the very first episode of this? Go answer yourself. But yeah, this it's going to be a fun little journey. So again, this is the only one of these videos I'm going to be posting to this channel because I just feel like this is my reaction channel, and while this language is relevant to a lot of my reactions, me learning it is not specifically the same kind of content that I'll have on this channel. So if you'd like to continue following this journey, you can join me over on my other channel, Everything Topher, and we're just gonna have us a good old dandy time. And if you have any tips or tricks, or just you want to talk and have conversation, then go over there. Find me on social media. Whatever. Have a good old time. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and me, trying not to butcher the Filipino language. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on notifications, be notified when all of my shenanigans get posted. If there's anything else you'd like me to react to, be sure to leave it down in the comments and I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, you're more than welcome to join us over on Patreon. You don't have to, but you're more than welcome to if you want to. And I will see you guys in my next video. Love ya. And before you guys go, I want to give a huge thank you to everyone supporting me over on Patreon. This channel would not be what it is today without your continued support, and I can't begin to thank you guys enough for all you've done for me. If you'd like to join us over on Patreon, the link is down in the description. I'll see you guys in my next video.